What's up, y'all? It's me, Steven, Crazy Lizzy Goat Farm and More. So you know what that means? Another encouragement word from the Lord. So before we get into this message, I have a quick announcement. I will be putting less of these encouraging videos on this page. Yes, I said this page, because I am going to start my own YouTube page. It's going to be based off my ministry, AMAL Studios, and More Abundant Life Studios. This is going to be a photography ministry page where I talk about the gospel and I talk about taking pictures and what it means to be in ministry. Y'all, so if y'all like these videos, if you want to learn about ministry, if you want to learn, I have so many plans. I have big plans for this channel right here. So go subscribe. I mean, it's gonna be what I'm planning on doing. It's gonna be awesome. But go subscribe. I ain't got nothing on there yet, but hit that notification bell so you will know when my video starts coming up. I plan on start recording right after this video right here. So y'all, go subscribe and let God be glorified in everything we do. And let's get into this message now. So, AMAL Studios is my photography ministry, and how it started is so funny. It's so funny to me because if you asked me 7 years ago and told me I was going to be doing pictures and doing video, I'd tell you crazy. If you told me I was doing YouTube, I would agree, because I had a YouTube channel before and stuff happened and I stopped. And I wanted to start it years ago, but God told me no. He said, it's not time. And it's not till now that I'm starting my YouTube ministry page back up. And I'm making a new one. Because I am in a new chapter of my life. But how did it start? It was 2019. My church does this big old youth conference, SEYC, Southeast Youth Conference. Y'all, it's Southeast Youth Conference coming up, 2023. Y'all don't want to miss out. But I went there and I had bought this camera because I was trying to start my YouTube channel. And God told me no after I bought it. So I'm like, God, you told me to buy this camera. Why? Why did you tell me to buy a camera if I'm not going to do a YouTube channel? He said no. And I went to this youth conference, and people saw I had a camera. They came up and said, "Hey, Brother Steven, I see you got a camera. Would you like to take pictures for us this year?" I'm like, "Sure, but I'm going to let you know, I know nothing about taking pictures. I know absolutely nothing. I watched a couple YouTube videos. I know how to hit a button. I know how to set the setting. I know how to use manual, but that's all about I know how." And I took these pictures. And I thought it was just going to be a one-time thing. I'm like, this is just a one-time thing. But you put something in my hand and tell me I can do it for the kingdom, I'm going to do it. They made fun of me that year. First year I did it. They said, "Steven, you look like you was on a mission. I was crawling up the preachers. I was climbing on the stage. I was sitting down, laying down, doing anything to get a shot." Because I'm not talented, but this is what I felt would be the best thing to get these pictures. And then I posted on my personal Facebook page, and a friend of mine saw them, and he messaged me. He said, "Hey, Steven, I need to tell you something." I said, "What, man? What's up, man? Haven't talked to you in a while." He said, "I saw your pictures, and you would never know what it done for me. I want to tell you thank you." He said, a couple days ago, I was in a deep, dark place. I was depressed, I was suicidal, and I was ready to commit suicide. He said, I had the gun on the table and had it ready. And he said, but something told me, which we know now was the Spirit of God, something told me to look up on Facebook and see if there's anything to live for. And the first thing that came up was your pictures. And let me tell you what, something came over me, and I couldn't go through with the suicide. The next Sunday, I went to church. I asked my pastor, "Hey, pastor, is it all right if I continue to take pictures?" My pastor, being anointed as he is, don't know the story yet. And he said, "Yeah." So yeah. And I'm like, "Wow, that's awesome." And I kept continuing picture because look, if a picture, and not even great pictures, because all I had was my Canon T7i and the kit lens that it came with, the 18 to 55, and started taking pictures. But what touched that man? Was it my talent? No. I did not do this. I did not start this for talent. God called me to do this. Because when I did that, when I posted those pictures and I got that message, God said, "That's what I called you to do. That's what I called you to do." I said, "God, I'm not talented. I don't know much about pictures." God said, "If you would do it for me, I will give you the talent and capability to do it for my kingdom." Y'all, this is why I ask people when I go teach people, why are you taking the pictures for the church? Why are you singing for the church? Because if it's for self and it's not for God, you should not be behind. You may be the best singer. You may be the most talented drummer. You may can play the piano behind your back without looking, but does not mean you should be on stage or doing it for a church. Because if God did not call you to do something, don't take it with your own hand. Because it's about self, and it's not reflecting God. You're not in the will of God. So y'all, why are you doing it? Or you may be a worship leader, maybe so talented and so gifted, but does that mean God calls you? Yes, you're talented and they're gifted people that God calls to sing, and God gives people talents and gifts so that He can be glorified. But most of the time when God uses somebody in the Bible, they were the least of them. David was not the tallest and he was not the strongest. Moses was 80 years old and tried to did it himself and fell, but God called him back. Y'all, Gideon was the least of the people of Israel, but God called him to lead them out in the fight of war. The disciples were the lowest of the low. I mean, God doesn't always use talented people. Most of the time He uses untalented and unqualified people, so it reflects on Him and not on us. I am a great singer, but doesn't mean I'm supposed to sing all the time. Why do we try to get ourselves so mixed up into glorifying us? Y'all, I get so upset when I see people get up there on the stage and perform, and entertain people through worship, or what they call worship. If God's not in it, it's not God's will, and it's sin. So this is why we got to be so careful when we are in a ministry. We have to say, is this God's will for me? And again, if God calls you to it, He was anointed. Y'all, I am not talented. I am anointed. I am not. This is not a job. This is a ministry. Y'all, this ministry I do is not to make money. It is to glorify God. Yes, it takes money to work a ministry. I'm not saying I don't get paid. I'm not saying I don't make money from it. But I do not go around saying, well, if you can't give me this amount of money, I will not do this. Because it has to be about the kingdom of God. Jesus didn't go around saying, you didn't give me, if you don't give me $1,200, I'm not going to speak at your synagogue. If you don't give me this, I'm not going to heal you. He said, come unto me, and I will give I will give you rest. Y'all, why are you doing what you are doing? Y'all, I love y'all. I hope y'all have a blessed day. And y'all, if y'all will, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that annoying bell. Y'all leave a comment below. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel that I'm starting. And y'all, have a blessed day and bye, ya!